Hello and welcome. You are listening to Fully Booked with Elicia Crook on the ABMP Podcast Network. Get your free 2026 marketing calendar for massage therapist. This is for you, for the therapist who is tired of asking, what should I post? Because one of the least fun parts of social media and running a business is sitting down to post and going, ugh, I have no idea what to do. You know you should be posting, but your brain is fried after training all day. And this is exactly why myself and my team have planned out our content months in advance. It's also why we've released our 2026 marketing massage calendar for free for you. It's like cheating because we've found all the events and special days in 2026 that you can post about, and we've organized it into a handy calendar planner. So when it's time to post, you're not left scrambling or guessing. And it's actually the same one we use inside the Health Leader Code to map our year out. So if you want to grab it, if you want your marketing to feel organized instead of chaotic, this will help. You can grab it at go.healthleaderco.com/marketing calendar. And we'll link it in the show notes as well. Today, I want to talk about marketing. Marketing is one of the biggest sticking points for massage and bodywork professionals. Most of us were never taught how to market ourselves. And the very idea can feel overwhelming, even uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Marketing isn't about being pushy or salesy. It's actually just about communication. It's about sharing your story, your values, and the difference that you make in people's lives in a way that allows the right clients to find you and choose you with confidence. At the Health Leader Co, we've worked with thousands of practitioners and seen firsthand that when you learn how to market in an authentic way, you will never have to worry about being quiet in your business again. Because marketing is the engine room of growth. And it's also what gives you freedom. Freedom to choose the clients you love working with, freedom to price yourself properly, and the freedom to build a practice that sustains you long term. In my own experience, I ran my massage business for 16 years here in Ocean Grove. And I was very lucky that my husband, who is also now my business partner, was a digital marketer at that time. Now, what that means is that he ran his own digital marketing agency in Geelong, around 30 minutes from where we lived. And he used to work with small, medium, and large-sized businesses. He worked with our local library. He worked with some universities. He worked with hundreds of small to medium-sized business in our local area. And it was at the sort of cusp of when Facebook and social media became a thing. He also was around when websites were not necessarily something that you had to pay a designer to create. They became something that was easy for people to be able to do themselves using, things like Squarespace and, having templates available. And so he studied digital marketing back in the early 2000s. And while a lot of technology has now changed, much of what he learnt back then and has adapted and learnt through time hasn't changed. What it meant for me in my career was that I never relied on word of mouth and referrals to build my practice. Now, although James never did my work for me, he didn't do any of my marketing for me, I did it all myself. But I implemented what I learned over the dinner table. So he would come home and go, oh, guess what? Mobile, having a website that is mobile reactive. So it changes size if you're on a mobile device. That was new. Obviously, it happens all the time now. It's very rare for a website to not have that functionality, but it wasn't common back in 2009, 2010. It was new. When he talked to me about branding and being really consistent, I learned how important that was. When he talked about having a consistent message and making sure that everywhere someone saw you was important, that it was the same. And I remember him telling me a story of a company he worked with that when he went to visit the man showed him his logo, which was different to the logo that was on his shirt, which was different to the logo that was actually on his website. And his business card had another separate logo. Now, what kind of blows my mind with this is, it does my head in because I'm like, no way, we need to have this consistency. However, the way James describes this is that if this was your business It would be a little bit like rocking up to see a friend for a coffee and them having a different face. And how weird would it be for you to build a relationship with them if every time you saw them, they had a different face? And yet our business can sometimes be like that when we're not consistently putting ourselves out in the same way. When we're starting to be, we've got a little bit of an old logo here and a different t-shirt here and nothing's matching. What that creates in our marketing landscape is confusion. And often people in the community won't buy in a confused market. So it's really important that we start to understand some basic marketing structure. And that's what I want to share with you in this episode today. Now, there's also a lot of objections around this. And sometimes people will be like, oh, but I don't need marketing because I don't need clients. And so let me just kind of unpack some of this with you. The first objection I've got is that I don't want to sound salesy. And the thing is that marketing isn't about actually being salesy. Marketing is about connection. It's not about persuading. It's about helping people understand what it is you do before they even come in. And when you can do that, that's how you know you've got your marketing right. Or people will be like, oh, I don't have time for marketing. But in reality, marketing doesn't actually have to take hours every week. With the right systems, a few consistent actions can make massive results. Sometimes people will say, oh, but I don't know what to say. And this is one of the easiest problems to solve. Once you identify your niche and your ideal clients, when you know who you're speaking to, the message becomes clear and simple. I think of marketing a little bit like a fire. Now, we can have small flames to boil an egg, and we can have a raging inferno to incinerate something. Marketing, the size of your business and the size of the energy required to get more clients, relates to the size of fire that you have. Let me explain. So if you are just starting out, let's say you're just starting out in your practice and you're like, I'm starting to build my clientele and I need people in. I was part of the guide movement. My kids have been in the Scouts movement. We learned to light fires safely, responsibly, and in the right way. And so the way we were taught to do it was you would put the paper in the middle, or the leaves, and then you would put the smaller sticks and then you'd build it out so that it gets bigger and bigger. Once that is established, if you want to have a big bonfire, then you have to keep adding fuel to it in order to build it up to that. However, if you just want to cook some s'mores or you want to roast some potatoes, then the size of your fire means that it's probably going to be in a contained thing. It might be outdoors, it might be dug into the ground, or it might be just your own personal fire in the backyard. Depending on where you're at in your business is how much you might need to put into it. So some people will say to me, Leash, I don't do marketing. I just rely on word of mouth and referrals. And to which I say to that, good for you. However, be mindful of that advice for other people. Because often what I see when someone says they just rely on word of mouth and referrals, they probably have a website. They probably have a social media page, even if they don't update it, but it will be updated with the stuff that they've had. They probably send an email once or twice a year, most likely have networked with other practitioners in their area. They have business cards, and yes, their clients will refer people to them. Word of mouth and referrals are fantastic because when someone refers to you or recommends you, the trust that is in that conversation is huge. The challenge is if you are just starting out or you've just moved to a new location, word of mouth and referrals are the slowest way for you to build your business. Because if you're having a quiet week, you can't say to your clients, hey, I'm having a bit of a quiet week. Could you please refer all your family and friends? Because it feels icky, and it feels icky because it is. So if you are looking to build lots, or you've just put on practitioners and you're trying to fill them, you're going to have to put more fuel on the fire, which means you're going to have to do more activity. You're going to have to post more. You're going to have to pay for ads. You're going to have to update your Google listing. Like there's going to be a lot of things you're going to need to do. Whereas if you are just, you're seeing 10 to 15 clients a week, you'd like to see 17 clients a week, You just got to add a couple of bits into the mix. Marketing creates certainty. I mean, imagine if you opened up your calendar on a Monday morning and you're seeing the week is already filled with the right clients. No more waiting by the phone or stressing about cancellations. That level of certainty doesn't come by accident. It comes from simple, consistent marketing that works in the background to keep your practice thriving. And this is something I didn't even realize that we did at the massage clinic until I started to listen to what other people did. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like the reason we were so popular and could generate so many clients per week was because we consistently put ourselves out there across a huge period of time, but we're also willing to invest because we knew how to do that well. Marketing attracts the right clients. Now, as I mentioned before, I love to specialize in complicated cases. So how do you attract those clients in? And it was about, getting really clear so that my messaging was speaking to that person. Have you had treatments and no one else has been able to help? Do you have chronic pain? Do you having all these words out there actually allowed people to go, yes, that's me, or no, that's not. And great marketing does that. It actually it helps you lean in or it cancels you out. And that's what you want. That's actually what you want to have. So people get what you do before they even come in and they know exactly that you're the right person. Instead of having someone come in and they're expecting a deep tissue, elbows in, foot on the wall, yeah, now get in there. And you're not that therapist. We don't want that because then that's like a bait and switch. We want to make sure that what we're putting out there is really consistent to the kind of treatment that we have and the treatment that we do, and that people can have an understanding of that. The other thing is that marketing actually gives you freedom. It gives you freedom because not only can you see the clients that you want to see and are willing to pay for your services, but it gives you freedom because it allows you to be able to decide how many clients you want to see each week. It gives you the power to make that happen. Because when you understand marketing, you stop being at the mercy of a busy season or referrals, drying up and things like that. And instead you create that consistency and choice. And I believe that marketing actually builds authentic connection because it's not about putting out there who you think you should be. It's about putting you out there because everyone else is taken. And the more authentic you can be, because it is, often, I love talking about social media. You can be you on social media because that's who you are authentically. And yes, that's what you look like and sound like, but often it's the first time you've heard it, but your clients already love your voice and they love what you look like. So marketing, when done well, feels the same way. It actually feels really congruent. It's not kind of slick. It's actually about showing up authentically as you. So people know exactly who you are and what you stand for. And when your marketing is real and values driven, that'll attract people who trust you before they even walk through the door. Now, I said this before, but this is James's quote, is marketing is the engine room of growth. And we have seen this time and time again when people actually understand, what it is that they do and they understand how to put themselves out there and communicate a great message. It is that marketing piece is such a quick and effective way to build your practice. There are some paid and free marketing options available, and it includes, this is not an exhaustive list, but to give us a bit of a start off, Facebook, Instagram, Facebook ads, do reels, stories, posting in local Facebook groups, word of mouth, referrals, letterbox drops, referral strategies, buy one, get your second one half price, open days, Google listing, Google My Business, website, business cards, ads in the local paper, running open days, like you name it. There are so many different ways to market your business. And sometimes it's active marketing, actually putting yourself out there, going and talking, networking, etc. And sometimes it's the I don't do marketing, which is basically I've got a website, I've got a brand, I've got a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and I do email. Yeah, I'm already doing some of those things. It's a little bit like plate spinning. I imagine, I don't do it myself, but I imagine if you did, when you put the plates up, it'd be like there's a lot of energy to do it. You've got to do a lot of work, but once it's there, you're just kind of tweaking. And I would say that people who say they don't do marketing are normally just tweaking what's already there. So remembering to help others around us, that if that's what you're doing, it comes down to where you're at in your business. And if other people are looking to grow quickly, they may need to add more activity in there. So making a plan, using any of this list or anything else, but marketing is about the right message to the right people at the right time. I want to share with you a simple framework that James created called the SOAS framework. I love that because SOAS might be my favorite muscle. It stands for Problem, Solution, Outcome, Action, Stick. And once you hear this, you're going to start noticing it everywhere. And this is a marketing framework that you can use on any of your marketing pieces. You can use it on your website. You can use it on any Facebook post. You can use it on Facebook ads. We talk about it a little bit even in the calendar that I shared earlier. Like this is something that we use a lot, and it's a really great marketing framework. So first is the problem. This is where a lot of people go wrong because they'll talk about themselves instead of naming what their audience is already frustrated by. And the thing is, if someone doesn't feel seen, they're going to switch off. So the first thing is about talking about the problem that the person has. And my advice to you and recommendation is listen to your clients in the treatment room. Because when we listen to our clients in the treatment room, they tell us stuff. Oh, I just feel a bit, I'm just a bit tired. Things just, I don't know. I just feel like I'm getting old because my back is sore. Like, what are they actually saying to us? The next is solution. And this is not a full how-to. It's just enough to show that there is a way through and it creates belief without overwhelming. So a solution is really saying, did you know massage, bodywork, whatever it is you do can help? Then we move to outcome. What life or business could look like when the problem is solved. So once they're feeling better, the outcome that they're looking for, moving better, not feeling like they're getting old, not feeling like they've got back pain, more consistency, less stress, better results, whatever it is that they're looking for. After that comes action. And this is important because you don't want to leave people guessing. You want to tell them exactly what it is you want them to do. One clear step. Book online. Have a regular massage. Like this is where you get to actually do that call to action. And finally, the stick. And the stick is the reframe of getting people to actually book in. So it's like it's making them want to stick. It's making them want to take action. So problem, solution, outcome, action, stick. I'll give you some examples. Example number one, this is for like a sports massage business or athletes for active clients. And the problem might be a lot of people think soreness and tightness are just part of training, or worse, a sign they're getting older and need to pull back. So that's their problem. Solution, did you know targeted sports massage that supports recovery, improves tissue quality, and keeps the body adapting to training instead of breaking down? This is the stuff that we know as practitioners, but the community has no idea. So we're not going to assume that they know what we know because remember, we are the experts in the room. So we're going to tell them. The outcome is that people who have regular treatment can train harder, recover faster, and feel confident in their body again without constantly worrying about niggle, injury, or aging. Action, book a regular treatment around your training cycle, not just when something hurts. Stick, appointments filling fast, save time, book online. So I wouldn't actually say problem, solution, outcomes, action, stick, but I would say that is how you can word an ad. You can pop this on your website. You can use this in a Facebook or an Instagram post. You can even use it in a reel or a story. It's literally calling out people's problem and talking about how you could be a solution to that. And example number two, pregnancy massage business. Pregnant women are often told discomfort's just part of pregnancy, so they put up with pain, poor sleep, and a body that feels unfamiliar. Did you know pregnancy-specific massage that supports the changing body, eases tension, and helps the nervous system settle? Often women who have regular massage report they feel more comfortable and more supported, more connected to their body during pregnancy, and not just like they're surviving it. Start massage early in your pregnancy and continue regularly as your body changes. Pregnancy massage appointments are limited this week, so book now with your details. So these are some strategies that you can utilize when it comes to marketing, and maybe marketing might not be quite as scary. I believe that marketing is just like learning the muscles, that when we understand it, that it starts to make sense. And it's actually really fun, especially people who love to do a lot of variety in business or love to be super creative. I find marketing to be really creative. I really enjoy it. I enjoy being fun. I enjoy being creative. I enjoy being a little bit edgy from time to time, but really just being able to put out that personality. So, marketing isn't just about promoting your services, it's about truly understanding your audience, showing up consistently, building authentic connections that make people trust and remember you. It's about creating value, sharing your expertise, and turning everyday interactions into opportunities to grow your practice. Every post, every email, every conversation counts. And when you approach it with purpose, it transforms the way people experience your work. For more insights, practical tips, and inspiration to take your practice to the next level, subscribe to the ABNB podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.